If I had to start all over again with Hashimoto's, knowing what I know now, I would do things completely differently. Because the truth is, the way most of us get diagnosed leaves us confused, dismissed, and still feeling terrible. So today, I'm breaking down the first steps I take if I was diagnosed all over again. I'm Myra, a certified holistic nutritionist and your Hashimoto's BFF, and let me tell you, I have been through it. The exhaustion that makes getting out of bed feel impossible, the brain fog where you can't string a clear thought together, and that frustrating moment when a doctor looks at you and says, "Your labs are fine, you're good to go." Well, every part of you knows something is not fine. That's why I made this video, because I don't want you to spend years feeling dismissed and confused like I did. Instead of giving you another overwhelming checklist of things you should be doing, I want to share exactly what I wish I knew when I was first diagnosed. The steps that actually made a real difference in reducing my symptoms and helping me go from this to this. So let's jump in. Here's the very first thing I'd do if I was starting all over with Hashimoto's. The very first thing I'd do if I were starting over with Hashimoto's is make sure I had the right labs. Unfortunately, most doctors only run TSH and maybe T4, and while those numbers can tell you a little bit about your thyroid, they don't even come close to showing you the full picture. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition, which means your immune system is attacking your thyroid. So if you're only looking at two numbers, you're missing all the other clues your body is giving you. So what else should you be checking? Well, things like free T3, which tells you how much active thyroid hormone your body can actually use. Then there's your thyroid antibodies, which confirm whether your immune system is in attack mode. And then there are your nutrient levels like iron, selenium, and vitamin D. Because without those building blocks, your thyroid can't function properly in the first place. When I was first diagnosed, my doctor ran the standard panel, told me everything looked normal, and sent me on my way. Meanwhile, I could barely drag myself through the day. I was exhausted, foggy, and honestly starting to wonder if I was just imagining how bad it felt. It wasn't until I finally got a full thyroid panel with antibodies and nutrient testing that all the pieces started to click. My body wasn't failing me, it was actually trying to signal to me what was wrong. That's why I always say the right labs give you a roadmap, but without them, it's like trying to drive across the country with no GPS, no map, and no road sign. You might eventually get somewhere, but it's going to take a lot longer and be way more frustrating than it needs to be. But here's the thing, even with the best lab work, that alone won't make you feel better. Which brings me to the next step. You need to shift the way you think about Hashimoto's, because it's not just a thyroid problem, it's an immune system problem. And this is something that almost no one explained to me early on. So here's what's actually happening inside your body. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition, which means your immune system is mistakenly attacking your thyroid, which is why your thyroid starts to slow down and your hormone levels get out of balance in the first place. Your thyroid is basically the victim of the attack, not the root cause of the problem. Most doctors, though, treat Hashimoto's like it's only a thyroid hormone issue, which means you get prescribed medication to replace your thyroid hormone. And while that can definitely be helpful and even necessary, it doesn't stop the immune system from attacking your thyroid. It's kind of like patching a leaky roof without addressing where the water is actually coming from in the first place. Your roof might hold it for a little while, but if the water is still coming in, eventually you're going to have even more problems. This is why so many with Hashimoto's are on medications but still feel exhausted, foggy, or just not like themselves. It's not that the medication isn't working, it's that the medication alone doesn't calm the immune system or address the inflammation that keeps your symptoms going. But here is the encouraging part. Once you understand that Hashimoto's is an immune issue, everything changes. You stop chasing perfect numbers on a lab sheet and you start focusing on what really matters. Calming your immune system, lowering inflammation, and supporting your body in a way that makes healing possible. That mindset shift alone can save you so much frustration. Instead of thinking, why don't I feel better even though my labs look fine, you'll know the deeper reason and you'll know where to start focusing your energy. And one of the most powerful ways to start calming the immune system is through the choices you make every day, which brings me to the next step. The third thing I do if I were starting over with Hashimoto's is focus on the foundations. the simple, everyday choices that either fuel healing or keep you stuck. And I know when you're already exhausted and foggy, the last thing you want is a mile-long checklist of things to fix. That's not helpful. But honestly, starting really small really does make a big difference. So let's talk about stress first. When your body is constantly in fight or flight mode, your immune system stays on high alert, which makes Hashimoto symptoms even worse. And then there's sleep. Without enough quality rest, your body never gets the chance to repair. Hormones stay out of balance, and your energy never fully comes back. Gut health and blood sugar are huge too. If your gut isn't healthy, your immune system gets triggered over and over and over again. And if your blood sugar is spiking and crashing all day, you're going to feel even more tired, more moody, and more foggy, which just adds to the cycle. So what can you actually do about it without adding more stress? The answer is start small. Maybe it is building your meals with protein and fat and fiber so that your blood sugar stays steady throughout the day. Or creating a simple wind down routine at night, like turning off screens a little earlier, dimming the lights, or taking 10 minutes to just breathe before bed. These may feel like little things, but they send a big signal to your body. It says, you're safe, you can calm down. And I want to emphasize this. These actually aren't extras. They're not optional if you want to start to feel better with Hashimoto's. It's the foundation that your body needs so that your immune system can calm down and your thyroid can actually heal without constantly being attacked all day. Without these things, even the best medication and supplements won't make much of a difference. Now, here's the final piece that ties it all together. You need to get support and a clear plan, because trying to piece this all together on your own is overwhelming. There is so much conflicting advice out there. One blog says cut out gluten, another says it's all about supplements, someone else swears by a totally different diet, and before you know it, you've tried everything and you still don't feel any better. I know this because I've been there. I spent years Googling, bouncing from one diet trend to the next, buying supplements that promise results, and honestly, ending up even more confused and discouraged than when I started. And the hardest part was I still didn't have a clear direction, even after all of that. What changed everything for me was having a roadmap, a step-by-step system that actually connected the dots for my unique symptoms. Suddenly, it wasn't about guessing or chasing every new thing I saw online. I had a structure to follow and support to help me stick with it. That's when I started noticing real changes. More energy, clearer thinking, and finally feeling like myself again. And here's the encouragement I want to give you. You don't have to figure this out alone. You don't have to spend years stuck in trial and error mode like I did. There are systems and resources out there that can make this journey so much easier so that you know exactly where to focus your time and energy. Which is exactly why I created the resource I wish I had from the very beginning. It's called the Hashimoto's Relief Roadmap, and if you're ready to stop guessing and finally start feeling better, this is for you. Inside, I walk you through the exact system I use to reduce my symptoms, get my energy back, and understand what my body actually needs. If you want to find out more, you'll find a link in the description below. If this video gave you some clarity or hope, do me a quick favor and hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss future videos like this. Also, let me know in the comments, what is one thing you wish you knew when you were first diagnosed? I'd love to hear your story. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. I am cheering you on every step of the way. Got this, and I will see you in the next one.